You're hearing me, but you're not feeling me.
We're hitting nothing but dingers here.
Boy, crikey, that's a great point.
Hello and welcome here to the Weekly Chaos. We are coming to you at the speed of sound from the Hexapod Soundhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Luke.
I'm Nick.
And I'm TJ Whodunit.
Big shout out to our returning listeners and a coy hello to our new friends. The Weekly Chaos is a headline news show that's all about variety, being eclectic, seeing the world from different angles. We don't know where we're going, but we know we'll get you there faster than you can say.
Follow us on Instagram at Velocity Chaos Pod, Twitter at Velocity KSP, and on Facebook. Also, drop us some stars on Apple Podcasts, some love on Spotify, and toss us a sub on YouTube. Thanks as always for your support. Let's do it. All right, it's time for the Weekend Box Office Report, hosted by the Weekly Chaos. Here we go with the weekend estimates. Top 5 grossing films across May 12th through the 14th. Number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 rockets its way into its second weekend at the top of our list. The film hauled about another $60.5 million in for North America and has a running total of $213.2 million. Number 2, Bowser would be proud of the Super Mario Bros. Movie as it continues to pillage the box office with another $13 million in week 6. Cumulative North America is $535.9 million. Number 3, Book Club, The Next Chapter nabs $6.5 million for Focus Features. This is the follow-up to the 2018 film starring Jane Fonda and Diane Keaton. The original made $68 million domestically, so they went back to the well. Number 4, Evil Dead Rise holds onto the top 5 with a death grip and hauls another $3.7 million to bring its 4-week cumulative to $60.1 million. And number 5, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, holds pretty steady from last weekend with about $2.5 million, inching a little closer to that $20 million mark. Honorable mentions this week, John Wick Chapter 4, I had to say it, finally fell out of the top 5, but still made almost $2 million in week 8. That movie is just going and going and going and going and going. Hypnotic, this was a languishing Ben Affleck vehicle that finally hit theaters. Robert Rodriguez actually made it with him. It was just kind of this movie that was kind of stuck in development now. It made $2.3 million over the weekend. And Knights of the Zodiac opened to $535,000. This was a live action anime series, or this was a live action film based on an anime series from 1986, and it ran through 1989. Global box office on that one was closer to $5 million, so a bit of a better audience outside the U.S. But $535 on an independent anime film still pretty solid. So that's it for the box office report. I always want to do that. So I did it this time.
I got something for you right out the gate. I'm going to hit you right in the teeth with a flying disc right there, baby. We got the OTB Open for the Disc Golf Pro Tour 2023 coming at you. OTB, it's Stockton, California. They put this long course, 11,700 feet for the MPO, over 10,000 feet for the FPO on a Swenson Park. I believe that's the golf course, but incredible. They're able to weave this one through the course and actually make it a little more challenging than some of those open golf courses. Fun one. So FPO side, Kristen, not there. Kristen, she was in Europe for this tournament, but long-awaited return of Paige Pierce coming back from injury, 5-time world champion, comes back. There was she put out some videos earlier in the week about her physical therapy. She's like, I'm going to test it out, see what's going, test the waters, and she ended up playing. She came back with a three-peat. That's right. She won in 2020, 2021. Or no, 21, 22, and 23. So that is, I think that's an incredible feat to come back, especially off of an injury and, not sure if you can push yourself, but winning by quite a few amount of strokes. Go over to the MPO side. We had the Goose, Aaron Gossage. Well, I think he's a fan favorite out there. He was going. He started the front 9 down 6. Then Emerson, Keith, and Gannon Burke started creeping up. Goose was leading the tournament on day 3. Back 9, putting woes, a couple double bogeys, a couple 3-putts. Did not happen. Emerson, Keith, a lot of power in a small frame. This guy is south of 5'6", probably in the 5'5" range. He can bomb that disc down the course. So that just goes to show you that you don't need to be big, tall, lengthy to have power. This guy has it. He did it. He won the OTB Open. I do have one other thing. One other if you ask people what's going on with the OTB Open, they're going to be talking about Natalie Ryan. Natalie Ryan, if you know, in the disc golf world, has been a big point of contention because she's transgendered, playing in the FBO division. Currently, she was only allowed to play in California because of their laws with transgenderification.
Yeah.
Whatever your take is on it, you know, it is what it is. But you know, people need to stop being so harsh and mean, and just kind of let the law or whatever the guidelines be guidelines. It doesn't matter what you feel. You don't have to be hurtful and mean to these people. Anyone, but so she played round 1, and then there was a decision in the court on Friday. So then she had to get pulled from the tournament from the FPO side. So she ended up not finishing the tournament. And so yeah, that was kind of the other story throughout the tournament. But again, Paige still brought it home, 5-time world champ, solid performer.
I thought I saw something about that. Like there's an international ruling for international sports, almost like at the Olympic level, world sports level, that, you know, they weren't accepting transgender people because of the discrepancies it creates in like world records and stuff like that. So maybe that was the ripple effect into this match. But I want to talk about OTB really quick. One, like Paige, now that you see players kind of leaking training videos and kind of putting stuff out there before tournaments, this is where it gets really interesting for a sport, because you're building narratives, you're building triumphs. I mean, you got PR people probably involved now and saying, oh, let's create this like story out of, we know you're healthy, Paige, but let's dramatize it. So I think that's cool that you're starting to see more kind of stories come out of a disc golf. And then OTB Open, I just looked up the course, but I also noticed that their logo has the windmills on it. I think that'd be hilarious if like you show up and you're like, oh, cool, it's just like near wind farm, and there's just giant windmills in the middle of this course, just like ripping through people's like 300-yard drives, just knocking them down.
But they gotta be like mega versions of like the putt windmills.
Yeah.
They're like 40 foot tall, but they're still made out of wood.
And they're all painted. Yeah, they all
laugh at you like a clown.
Yeah, throw it in the clown's mouth.
Yeah, dude. No, I was gonna say, I just I'm still learning the old discs, but you're talking about these small guys having power, and I was watching them whipping. I'm like, oh my god, these guys are getting it. I don't know why it never occurred to me, like in golf, playing it off the bounce. But the frisbee, like my brain always saw it just just and like perfectly landing on the grass. I was watching a couple of these guys that got like an extra 100 feet off the roll, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a whole other ball game to it.
That's a style of throwing the roller.
Yeah, man, bring a little bowling into our frisbee game. I dig it.
We got to figure out who's going to create the first disc golf putt course.
Yeah.
It just like falls into this thing, and then it just has a launcher and just shoots it in.
You got minis.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to keep it in the sports world. This totally different ball game. It's an indoor sport, and it's in a ring. We all know him. We all love him. We all hate him. And by we, I mean only people who love WWE. Very few men have worn World Wrestling briefs as well as this guy. Even fewer have chiseled cum gutters as sharp as his. I'm talking about the master of the ring, the king of the RKO, 14-time world champion, the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton.
The legend killer.
The legend killer. Back in November, the 43-year-old Knoxvillian, I just made that up. He's from Knoxville, had a back fusion surgery, and Orton's father just hinted, Bob Orton, Bobby Orton, just hinted that the wrestling fans' worst fears might be true. Spinal fusion is to add like more support to parts of the back, sometimes correct misalignments, and also to, in some cases, to reinforce vertebrae that have been damaged, or in Randy's case, just completely pulverized. Though he's training, Orton is reportedly not even close to returning to the ring this year, and the recoveries for this surgery are typically lengthy in general, but also the WWE, they'd have to medically approve him to return to the ring, and they've been known in the past to sunset superstars through this process of like not approving them, just phasing them out, bringing in new class, getting rid of contracts. But yeah, I think for such a legend, I think it's kind of an epic way of going out, where it's kind of like the Matty Stafford Iron Man case, where it's just like, you can't keep the guy off the field. He's got a broken collarbone, but he's still throwing passes. Like, it's the same thing with Randy Orton, where it's like, I literally can't stand up straight, and that's the only reason I can't get back in the ring. I'm not a huge WWE fan, but if I had to say one person who impressed mostly upon me, I mean, Randy Orton, just that tattoo sleeve is just a thing to behold. No, but he's amazing, high flyer, kind of an all arounder in a lot of ways. Did a lot of high flying stuff, but also kind of that mid range. He was like a lean heavyweight, right? Like, he could actually do a lot of cool stuff without being a just gargantuan beast that's just like lumbering around. Like, he actually got airborne and did a lot of really cool, incorporated a lot of aerials into his fighting style. So, yeah, it would be a shame to see him go, but kind of an epic way to get out.
I'll say a legend for sure. I mean, that just the iconic nature of just the RKO alone of him flying through the air, I'd be intimidated. But have you seen that stare down? It's piercing, dude. I mean, but I think it's cool about like professional wrestlers that we've seen is you still see a lot of those guys come back for a lot of celebrity appearances because that fandom is so strong. If he joins the ranks of, the Stone Cold Steve Austins, the John Cenas, where he can he makes that guest appearance like, hey man, hopefully that he does recover well and he is healed to a nice wholesome point in his career where he can come back out and just make those appearances and just go into that legendary Hall status. Yeah, that'd be cool to see because he was is a phenomenal performer rather, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, Randy Orton, I think he's like 14-time champion, so it's like he's right at the cusp of, Ric Flairdom of like 16-time champion. But the thing is, so there's guys like Edge, Adam Copeland, his name, or Christian J. Rizzo. Yeah. And then Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, as he was in WWE. But those guys, I know Edge and Bryan Danielson, they both had the fusion, and they've come back. Yeah. Edge, he's like 50, but he still came back. There's guys like Chris Jericho that are he's 50. So, you say 43 in any other sport besides Tom Brady, you're throwing in the towel. Yeah. But these guys, because they're performers, and he was right. Currently, I listened to a couple interviews with Randy Orton, and he was saying like the stuff that he was doing. I can't think of the guys right now, but he does his like Tarzan almost. Like, he's like a bro, but he's just in trunks and bare feet. Yeah. But he's like, it was the RK Bro was their team. Yeah. And he was saying that was some of the most fun he's had in years, like being a part of WWE and the storyline that they were in. So he's just he had the back injury, and he's just upset that he can't come back. But if he doesn't come back, he started so young at like 18. Yeah.
2002.
Yeah. 2002. So he's been going for 20 years. You can't blame him if he has to throw in the towel. And he put on so many great matches and he carried the business for so long when a lot of the other people left, and it was like him and John Cena and, a few other people like sprinkled in.
Yeah.
He was a killer, no doubt. Oh, what's that? There's another killer lurking out in the bushes. It's the Panthers, baby, because they're coming for you in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. I got to bring it up, guys. The Florida Panthers, I'm jacked on this hockey tournament right now, and everyone's telling me shut up because it's the longest tournament out there. But I'm going to tell you what, man. The Panthers were a wild card team. They weren't even supposed to make it into the playoffs, and they just took down the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just
hell yeah.
Oh, it's killer. They almost swept them. Almost. It would have been so sweet because there was Toronto fans in the streets breaking their brooms and say, we didn't get swept, because they were down 3-0, went up in game 4 with a win. And then the Panthers on this game 5 said, not today. Said, we're going to shut it down. And they took the game. The game ended up going into overtime. It was a 2-2 game, ending in the third period. Well, my man Nick Cousins comes out and through traffic with a beautiful wrist shot, buries one home, and just puts all that, just quiets those Leafs down where they should be. But also things to note, man. Sergei Bobrovsky got put in he's a goaltender for the Panthers. He got put in, I think it was game 2 or 3 of the playoffs, going back as their starting goaltender. He's been playing out of his mind, absolutely off the wall. He's so good down low, super flexible goaltender. We've seen him performed really well in the playoffs before. I'm a fan of his because he played for Philadelphia at one point. I'm a Flyers fan. So it's amazing to see the energy rally behind this team right now because everyone loves an underdog story. So it was crazy that they ended up beating Boston Bruins in their first round, which was the all-time winningest hockey team in NHL history.
Damn.
But when the Leafs came knocking and said, "Hey, we're going to be the 5th team in NHL history to come back from a 3-0 deficit," Panthers like, "Oh, not today, sir. Records are not being broken on our watch." So it's really cool to watch. And if you guys aren't tuning in yet, tune in. Please tune in and watch hockey.
Yeah, I just got to go buy that NHL ice for like $1,000 a month. Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll just drop it out. Cool. No, I'll find a stream somewhere. Look, hey, it's a cool kind of mix right now. You got a couple historical teams, a couple really new teams. You got like Kraken in here, and you got the Golden Knights, both pretty young relatively. I just looked it up. Florida, 1993. The Panthers is when they were founded about. But then like the Maple Leafs, man, like was it 1917? I just looked it up. And then you got the Canes. So like the one thing that always cracks me up a lot is how a lot of these like southern teams are so good at hockey, and it's just like, it's hot out here. You want to go hang out on the ice, and it's just like you got people who just want to get away from the heat. You got a couple kids goofing around with sticks and pucks, and they all of a sudden just become these insane players down there. But no, I'm looking at ESPN Plus Stanley Cup Finals. I know I have that, so I might catch a game or two. I'm back in the mix. I like hockey. I wish I could watch more of it, but it was always that like price wall that got me. And I know I'm being a cheapskate right now, but maybe I'll dump the Cavs and I'll just get into the Blue Jackets or something like that.
That's incredible. Being an 8 seed, climbing through the ranks, you have to play the toughest schedule in your conference or in the playoffs. So beating the Bruins, beating the Maple Leafs, 2 iconic teams. That's just incredible. Someone probably found their Yager jersey or some like worn out skates, and they were doing a like Mike but hockey style. That's incredible.
So good.
I'd watch that movie, a like Mike with ice. Smirnoff Ice. Guys, I'm going to pivot over to tech. We did a couple sports there, so I want to pivot over to tech really quick. This is tech video games. I call it, my headline for the story is Mega Microsoft. So last year, Microsoft kind of announced that it wanted to buy Activision Blizzard, which was still is one of the craziest ideas, I think, really in technology and in video games right now. A special committee this week in the EU, the European Union, has approved their portion of Microsoft's offer to purchase Activision Blizzard. The acquisition would net out somewhere between 69 billion and $75 billion, and would be one of the largest acquisitions in technology, let alone gaming, right? So you got this mega giant technology company acquiring this incredible world of gaming, because that's what Activision is at this point. If this were to happen, some of the biggest multiplayer games in the world, like Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, all these big multiplayer games, they would all end up on the cloud, which is actually really good news for gamers, because it allows you to tap into your account from multiple different devices on the go, as long as you have that connection up to it, because all the computing, it also would allow you to game without the console, because all the computing is now happening up in the cloud rather than just on your hardware in your house. So it'd be a major step forward, but obviously there's some huge concerns. Good for gamers, but other video game enterprises, I'm looking at you, Sony, are none too happy with the possibility of their main competitor making a giant leap forward and kind of really blowing past them in their global footprint. The UK, they've recently rejected this offer. So they're saying like, this is not going to work for us, blah, 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 blah. And the US is still weighing in. Really quickly, there's 2 things from this. One, it's like Microsoft is making all these kind of concessions of, we'll let Nintendo license our games for 10 years. And, we'll like cutting Sony in on this. And it's like, you're just preventing the inevitable. You're just like saying we'll kill them slowly rather than just in one fell swoop. So it's a mega landslide deal that would change the face of gaming everywhere. And the other thing is, I do want to just say this outright. I think there's a lot of really great development in gaming in Middle Europe, and I could see that there's some like economic elitism here, that the UK is blocking this and that the US is kind of abstaining in some ways or just delaying it and kicking the can down the road, where a lot of these incredible mini studios that support this massive game development are in Poland and, you know, in the in like Lithuania, like in the Netherlands. Like you have all the smaller countries, especially like Poland and Germany, well, not Germany, but like Poland and stuff, smaller economies that could really benefit from having an influx of creative tech jobs, right? I think it's really frustrating to kind of see these really, really developed nations kind of be like, you know what? We're not even going to consider this. Maybe they could make concessions or amend it, but you're literally killing tens of thousands of jobs in countries that could really use them. So I just wanted to point that out, that the people who are because like EU is like thumbs up. That's 22. There was 22 delegates on the special committee, and like UK and US is like, I don't know. So I think we got to watch this. We got to follow this because this is a big game changer.
Keep your finger on the pulse here with this one. But no, I don't know. If you're logging onto my computer now, Battle.net's going to be linked up to Xbox Game Pass or some bullshit. And now, I thought I saw an article that was, you know, Xbox or Microsoft finally admits that they lost the console wars or something like that. Maybe that was just a clickbait title. But yeah, I mean, Xbox has probably been going downhill since the PlayStation 5. And I mean, that's taken over that genre. And then you got the Nintendo Switch, kind of the more fun, fancy, you know, more kid cartoony oriented. And I don't know. I guess it's okay that they're trying to merge or take over. But like you said, they're just keeping it a little lifeline for how much longer? How much longer?
Yeah, the one thing I worry about with huge acquisitions of companies like this and having, you know, you're seeing this in a lot of industries where you have small players in whatever economic game getting bought up by these huge conglomerates, you get absorbed, and then you become part of that ecosystem or how they develop. And like Luke just mentioned, with, you know, you have this division of, okay, you have Sony that kind of markets their own games, and then you have Nintendo, like you said, they have a niche of games that they play, or, you know, a style of games. Like, I wonder if this is going to lead to more of like a corporate divide, like one company owns everything, but it's just a couple facets. But like you said, it's like, okay, this is this demographic, this is this demographic. That's how it divides. But my big thing I worry about is like, how does this affect small-time game developers? You know what I mean? Or is it just a point where, you know, these smaller games that might be more creative that come out that like they end up they have to follow a certain regulation of the bigger company, and how does that inhibit creativity? That's where I worry, because, you know, we all have our games that we love from the past where it's like, oh my God, these guys are doing so much for this game, but it's like, well, once you join a bigger corporate conglomerate, who knows, it might
gets watered down.
That's what I worry about.
Boxed.
I worry about some things. I wonder, what if I told you there were no more dreams? What if I told you that cockroaches no longer existed? What if I told you Twinkies were no longer edible? You know, these are just all things that can't happen, can't possibly happen. There's no way that any of those could ever go out of existence, or, you know, not be real anymore. So what if I told you Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the newest Zelda release, sold out their digital copies?
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's right. You'd think a physical copy. So on May 12th, Zelda, you know, released for the fans. Fans poured into the stores and online, tap and pre-purchase, all that good stuff. But all the physical copies sold out, and people went online like, "Oh, I got to get in on this." People are saying it's a great game right now. I can't buy it. Why is it not available digitally to download? I thought you'd just give me a copy of that. Just copy paste it. Copy paste it. It's right. No, that couldn't happen. And I'm reading from this here from essentially Sports. Ritteraj Halder reported, and it's exactly. Thank you. But yeah, only 24 hours after its release, Nintendo displayed sold-out messages on the game store page, while customers who pre-ordered got to experience it. I think it's just crazy. Eventually, they did fix the issue, but it just blows my mind. Why would you put a limit on it? If it was on accident, I guess. But like I said, what if I told you you can no longer dream? Your dreams are up for the evening.
you know what's happening is all those guys are rushing over to the metaverse, the metaverse GameStop and metaverse Best Buy and buying them all up. And in their metaverse, they got their digital CDs, their meta CDs with their Snoop Dogs, and they're running out of their digital disc space. Yeah.
And then everyone's just like, stonk, stonk, stonks. You know what? This is incredible that you brought this up at the same time we were talking about Microsoft, where Microsoft's like, go, 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 push, buy.
Yeah.
And Nintendo's like, we're going to make this even more exclusive. We're going to run out of digital copies. People are going to go insane. It's going to be amazing. And guess what? Guys in their basements are going to be talking about this on their podcasts. It's going to be freaking brilliant, man.
That's
Their
genius.
studio.
Studios. Nintendo, man, they're like, you can't tell, like, either it's a great accident that the PR wing of the company was just like, brilliant, grab it.
Yep.
And like, there's just some guy, some Benny in the, in the department who just forgot to like add like infinite zeros to the download copies available. Like, you really gonna put like 10,000 in there. Anyway, no, I love that story because it's just hysterically ironic.
It's like, how?
How? Where'd they go?
Yeah.
It's all conspiracy. Yeah. Where did they go? Where did they go? I got a question. Where did it go, Chinseo? Where did all the chemicals go? Because, guys, it happened again. A whole bunch of chemicals got spilled into another river. We started the Weekly Chaos talking about these disasters, and I want to know why this is still going on. Maybe it's us. Maybe we should stop talking about it. But anyway.
Yeah.
This butterfly effect is crazy.
It's nuts. So this chemical company, Chinseo, it's a chemical manufacturing company that does latex-based finishing chemicals out in Philadelphia, or just outside of Philadelphia, rather. They had thousands of gallons. 8,100 gallons of latex finishing solution spill to what they said was due to an equipment malfunction. You don't say. You don't say. And the EPA has been mentioning this, saying, "Oh, there's a lot of these things that are occurring, these chemical spills that are actually going that actually happen. We don't know about them because they go in reported."
Yeah.
What? What do you mean? Like you guys, we're just missing out on train cars tipping over and factories spewing junk out. All right. Anyway, I'll get to it real quick, and then I'll let you guys riff with this one because I'm heated. There's over 8,000 gallons of butyl acrolate, which in this chemical finishing product, we all know what those are.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Of course,
Yeah.
So these things cause skin irritation, vomiting, headaches, dizziness. Oh, this is starting to sound like a TV ad for most common drugs.
Yeah.
Was spilled into a tributary of the Delaware River named Otto Creek, which is only 12 miles up the road or up the river from a Philadelphia water processing plant. So at least there's that hope. Maybe the filtration plant's used to getting butyl acrolate in the water. So
This is why the 76ers lost their game last week.
Yeah.
They were freaking poisoned. That's a conspiracy.
oh my goodness.
That is, it's insane that they tried to calm everyone down. Like, guys, no, don't worry. This happens way more than we're reporting. This is just a little bit of it. Don't worry.
Okay, I feel better.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, guys, don't worry. This happens all the time, and we don't even know about it. I didn't even hear about, like, the only reason we hear about the one in Ohio because it's so close. And yeah, but I was gonna say, like, how many times has this happened that we have no idea it happens? They're just sweeping it under the rug. I'm sure no one's gonna report on that besides, whatever local news, and no big news is gonna report on it because they're getting their pockets padded either way.
Mm-hmm. I just keep picturing like the guys at these companies that are responsible for like the PR mess or reporting it or cleaning it up, and they're just like, how many rivers are in this goddamn country? Like, they keep spilling them right into rivers. Like, why?
Who put that river there?
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
I gotta add really quick. It was said that the EPA and local authorities urged local people to say, "Oh, it's okay. The water's totally fine." So, but all the residents rushed to stores to buy bottled water, and they're running out. And they go, well, they're like, "Wait, isn't this the same as some of the train cars that spilled in Ohio?" They go, "Oh yeah, it is. That was on the train cars that crashed in Ohio too." And yeah, because they were telling people, "Don't go buy water. Don't go panic buy water."
Yeah.
but then they find out it's the same stuff contaminating the river. So anyway, sorry. That's
we need a recall on all water, and we need a recall on all these airbags. That's right. A Tennessee company could be heading for a legal battle with U.S. auto safety regulators after refusing a request that millions of potentially dangerous airbag inflators need to be recalled. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is demanding that ARC Automotive Inc. of Knoxville recall 67 million inflators in the U.S. That is a lot, and it's like over the past, I think it was saying like the last 18 years of vehicles that they've installed these parts in, or they've provided the parts and they've been installed by manufacturers, whatever the car manufacturers, and this could affect over 284 million vehicles that are now, on the road and around. Exactly. So ARC is saying that, we tested, some 900 airbag inflators and we didn't have any issues. And and that, at anything
And
that
we just made them last week.
yeah. And anything that's been an issue over the last 18 years has probably already been fixed. So us getting hit for this now, we think is a little absurd. So we'll see kind of how this one plays out. As far as, and there's a number of different vehicle manufacturing companies. So, you might be getting a recall for your vehicle, for your airbag inflators.
The CEO of that company is just like, I need to get to the airport right now. We're closing the company down.
Going to Chile.
I've been meaning to retire. No, that's crazy. I mean, it would make me sweat probably every single day having working on working at a company, owning a company that made a product that you could be so liable for. I mean, obviously with great risk comes great reward, which is the antithesis to Spider-Man. But you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy because what these inflators are just the thing that pow.
So they're saying currently there's only 9 incidents of. You think you're in an accident and you're hoping to hit the airbag and you're going to get a bruised face probably either way, but it's saving you from a lot of other hard objects. But the inflator was shooting out metal shards, and someone died from it, and other 8 or 9 people got lacerations and stuff from the inflator.
Oh my goodness, that's absolutely ridiculous. It's funny. I just had one of those go bad. They sent me a recall on my truck, so maybe it's these guys.
Yeah, probably this.
Oh, you got some metal shards laying around? Jam on my face. I'm trying to get on that class action. Oh my god!
Just Mickey Rourke yourself.
But this is a lesson to the rest of us. Like you said, there's stress in all the safety equipment development when we want to be space lords. Is we're gonna make innocuous things like the emblems that go on the side of the car. I don't even want the front emblems that can that are pokey. I want the flat ones. We're gonna make those. What do you do, man? I make the badges. That badges are real nice. They stick real good too.
Smooth edges, very safe.
Smooth.
Start getting reports emblems are falling out of space and hitting babies in the face. Who's responsible for this? We're going to Chile. Space Chile. All right, guys, just wrapping it all up here. Little pop news for you, a little pop sugar, because this one's so sweet and sexy. Martha Stewart has been a living legend for as long as I can remember. She is a mogul, a media star, and above all else, a sharp-eyed designer who makes decorating worth it for so many people. She's also very savvy with her taxes now, and one of the few people who actually buys the TurboTax audit protection. That is unverified. But to add to her list of accolades, she just became one of the oldest bikini babes. Well, almost. Martha Stewart is featured on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition in a flattering white one-piece bathing suit accompanied by a ravishing metallic tangerine beach shawl. At 81, our girl becomes the oldest woman to grace the cover of SI's famous swimsuit editions and proves that body is something we can all appreciate at any age. I hope to have that much gumption when I'm 81. Show off the old leather skin, get the whole Speedo edition going. People will be pounding the table for that, I know. I don't know. I've had a weird affinity for Martha Stewart for a long time, and this is our 14-year-old selves. This is finally. You were talking about running out of dreams.
Yep.
Can't ever run out of dreams with Martha Stewart still around.
I'm telling you, this just checked off another box, baby. Yes, here we go. You go, Queen. Don't they? Is that what they say? Is that what they say when when they're doing the things that they dream of.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it. That's she's just stealing jobs. She needs to retire from modeling and looking beautiful and decorating. She's just stealing jobs from all these hardworking younger people with their liberal arts degrees and their interior design.
And their inhibitions to take off their clothes.
Yes.
Hey, man, Martha Stewart's hot in the kitchen and hot in the cover, okay?
All right.
You
Yes.
can come make brownies for me anytime. You wear that little yellow thing over, okay? I like it. She's a gangster. I'm all about Martha Stewart, whatever. You
She
just
is.
do that, work
She
that
is.
magic in the kitchen, baby.
Silver hair is awesome.
I gotta look at some photos real quick. Those are nice. Those are nice. I gotta look at a couple memes here while I'm at it. Oh, those are good too. Oh, these are wonderful memes, wonderful pictures. I get my memes personally curated and sent to me by Meme Gene. Meme Gene is a meme cultivator that curates a cornucopia of memes that you are guaranteed to enjoy. When you sign up for Meme Gene, you will set up your profile, send in your DNA, and then wait. With that information, Meme Gene will analyze and judge you, and then send you only the best memes that you are sure to be satisfied for hours or seconds. So now instead of your friends who think they're meme queens or kings sending you hundreds of unwanted memes, you can now block them and enjoy Meme Gene. Sign up for Meme Gene using code VCMeme for your first 69 memes free. Nice. This is not an actual product, service, or idea. Just in case you thought it was, it's not. If there is something out there with the same name or unaware, have no affiliation, have offered no judgment on the actual product, service, or idea. And as we move into the closing, towards the closing of the show, clickbait headlines here. I got a headline for you guys. Judgment Way has finally come.
I had to read it how you spell it and put it in together. Okay. Judgment Way has finally come. This is a Biggest Loser type of situation where people who have been working just for the pride of losing weight and not on a show where you can make 10 figures, they just come together and they have to weigh themselves up and see if they're failures or not.
Wholesome.
Yeah.
This is a story of a girl. No, it's not. Judgment Way. I think this is a play on words. I think this is about somebody big got a street named after him. It's about Judgment Way, and they're a really critical person. They're walking around judging people. They're walking around judging people every day. So they said, you know what? You want to judge people? Go judge them on your own street. And they named it after themselves.
That's not. I like that.
He clearly did read the headline. WEIGH.
Not.
That's just heavy. She's heavy.
Yeah,
He's heavy.
Not
They're
WAY.
Okay.
It's okay, but we have a little callback here to last season of Velocity Chaos. My chest hair on cheaters. The two local fishermen. That's right.
Oh.
Jacob Runyon, 43 of Ashta Bewley, and Chase Kaminsky, 36 of Hermitage, Pennsylvania. They were shoving weights and fillets in their walleye. Bring me the fillet knife!
Bring me the fillet knife!
And the tournament director came in, sliced them open. They are now getting fined 10 days in jail.
Yeah,
They have to give up their bass boat worth $100,000 that they won from a tournament. They are on a 1.5-year probation and must each pay $2,500 fine. Although half will be waived if they give $1,250 to a foundation that supports giving youth a chance to get out and fish, all that kind of good stuff.
Cool.
So maybe some good will come of it. They did get potentially cited for other tournaments, but judges were saying there's not enough evidence currently to go back and find out if they really did cheat in certain tournaments. So it is what it is at this point. But luckily, at least for this one, we are getting some justice.
What if they just pled insanity and they were just like, Your Honor, we just very much love to stuff lead pellets up fish's assholes. And this condition comes from our upbringing, and we are not liable for our actions.
In tournament setting, no.
Yeah.
In your own time, I guess you weirdos.
Bang, bang, bang goes the gavel.
Yeah.
Don't be a hero, mate. You look after your mates, and your mates will always look after you. Yeah, cheers.
Yes, cheers indeed, as we head down to Australia for our Aussie news segment as we close out the show here. I am offering, no, not me, the police of Australia here, they're offering $1 million reward for information over a 2003 murder of Victorian mother of 3.
Oh.
So I felt like this one, time is of the essence. I was going to let this one sit on the burner for a while, but no, we got to get this one out there. We're actually going to head over to Australia and do some detective work because, well, actually, it's $1 million Australian dollars, so maybe it's not worth it.
It might barely pay for our flights.
Yeah. So Jan, this is Maria Jan, then aged 69, back in 2003. She was found dead in her home, in her chair. She was in her nightie, but not really set to go to bed yet. TV on, purse was on the floor. They found no signs of breaking and entering. And there was someone who was a few years after that was sentenced, but then was later found out he's a 46-year-old man who knew Jan. He was charged with the murder, but later acquitted, and the case remains unsolved. So the police are now offering $1 million. So I think we got to do some detective work down in Australia and, cash in on this one.
Velocity Cast Crime Spree,
That's
a
right.
new podcast coming to Audible this fall.
I don't know. We should take those silly blokes that were messing with the fish, and that should be their punishment. They got to go to Australia, and all the money, if they find it, has to come back to the kids and get fish, and then you give it back to the family because those are some fishy buggers right there.
DJ, who done it? I think you're on to something. You are on to something because that just goes to show you that in life, you might think you figured something out, but 20 years later, you have no idea what happened, and you start asking. If you can't do it yourself, you got to pay someone. So that means you got to make enough money to cover all expenses. And when you're out there, you might be 69, you might be 29, but you might still look good in a bathing suit if you work on yourself. You got to work on yourself, and your back might need fusing at some point, and you might be out there slinging discs. You might be a small statured person, but you can still sling it just like the best of them out there. And it doesn't matter if you're the 8th seed, the 9th seed, the 1st seed. It matters what's in your heart and how far down you dig deep and pull out the W's, and you just keep on going. You just ride that train until it falls over and spills out the tetrachloride everywhere in the world, and everyone else is running around drinking water. Oh no, they're all sold out. They're sold out of toilet paper. They are sold out. Just use a rag and rinse it off in the backyard. We don't need TP for everything. It's getting recalled anyways, isn't it?
That was a good one. What a summation there. And that does sum up this episode of the Weekly Chaos. We have enjoyed being here with you on the audio waves or the video waves, whichever you are consuming Velocity Chaos content from. Guys, it's been a fun one on this one. Lots of good updates. Lots of really trendy. We're on the cutting edge. We're always there. And we hit a lot of different categories. So I just want to thank you guys both for doing the show. And we will see you next time. This is Nick, almost signing off. But I'm not going to forget, DJ, who done it?
Who done it? Who put the lead weights in the fish?
I almost done it. I almost skipped him. But no, I didn't. I caught you. Thank you for being here, buddy. Running the board. Sounded like a good show.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, fellas. It's always a great time down here at the Xbox.
We shouted a lot and made it hard on you, but it's okay. You did it well. You done did it good. All right, this is Nick officially signing off.
And this is Luke signing off. Thank you guys once again. We appreciate the heck out of you. And like we always say, and we said it before once, bring me the fillet knife. Have a good one.
That was the Weekly Chaos, brought to you by the Velocity Chaos podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in and getting your weekly dose of news updates. Make sure to check us out on all your favorite social media platforms at Velocity Chaos Pod and podcast at velocitychaos.com. As always, we appreciate your support. Please tell a friend, and thank you once again.